Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Podcast about movies.
Mhm.
I am your host, Jacob Barber, as joined as always by Austin. Austin, how's it going?
Oh, good, man. I'm doing fantastic. I'm happy to be off work tomorrow, so I get to sleep tonight, which is
Nice.
always a good thing. But we do these shows kind of nice and early on Saturdays, so I appreciate
Yeah,
that. So we can get something done, get it out of the way. But I'm excited for tonight because I really liked our first episode of this. But yeah,
yeah,
fill
this
in
is a
what
lot of
we're doing.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you that watched the first one, we are doing it. We're doing this again. We're doing the blind rankings again. So what that
Mhm.
means is Austin has prepared a wheel of animated movies for myself. I have created a wheel of horror movies for Austin,
Mhm.
and we are going to spin it 20 times.
Yeah.
We are going to rank whatever movie pops up, 1 through 20, but we don't get to know what's coming next.
Mm-mm. No.
And in a little added twist this time,
Yeah.
I have a number written
So
on
do
my
I.
board.
It's on the back of this paper that I'm writing down, but I swear there's a number on the back of this. Yes.
What these numbers represent is whatever horror movie Austin puts at this
At
number,
that number.
we will review it
And then
at an
whatever
animated.
animated movie Jacob puts at this number, we will also review. We might do them on the same show. Maybe we'll do
Yeah,
both
yeah.
movies. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do like
I
more
just
of an extensive review.
thought,
Yeah,
thought that'd be fun, a little
for
addition
sure.
to the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that covers it. It's not really complicated. We just spin a wheel, get a
Yeah.
movie, rank the
Well,
movie.
I will tell you this straight up. So my list, we each have roughly 30 movies. I think I have 31, but it doesn't matter because I think I threw in something there last minute. I will give you this. It's not so much of a hint. It's just a generalization. There are a couple of stinkers on my list.
Okay,
There are a couple of like mediocre but watchable movies.
I gave
There
you a few
are
last time,
there
so
there 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 are some good stuff, like some good solid stuff, and there are definitely some all-time bangers, like all-time
okay.
classics. So there is a mix of things. So just keep that in mind as you're spinning, or winding it down, like there could be some stuff left on there. So yeah. But I'll at least give you that. It is a wide spectrum. It is not just one type of movie. So
I'm the same way.
yeah.
I think you've seen most of these movies. Some of them I think are beloved by most. A few
Mhm.
mixed, and then some that maybe
Yeah.
I'm a little higher on as the non-horror
We
fan.
should say we do pick like fairly mainstream movies. It's not like certain
Yeah,
direct to video stuff. Other than I think last time Jacob gave me The Dentist because he knew I own The Dentist and I've seen it. So
that's yes.
that was on
The
the
only
list.
reason I added
But
it.
but it's only because we both own the new Blu-ray that come out, and I saw it, back in the day from Blockbuster. So like I have seen The Dentist, but yeah, that would be probably the most obscure one I think you have for me.
I don't.
So,
There,
yeah.
there may be one on here that's kind of obscure, but my thinking is if I've seen it,
Yeah, I've
then I'm
probably
hoping
seen.
you've seen it.
Sure, yeah, and if we haven't, that's why we have 30. We
Yeah,
knock it off the wheel. We just spin again, and we'll just see what happens. But I'm pretty certain you've seen all of my 30. I'm like 99% certain you've seen all of my 30.
there's
So there's one I'm not sure, but if not,
okay.
we'll scrub that. So
Yeah.
that's fine. Huh?
There's a handful that I haven't seen, but I'm
Yeah.
actually, as we've been doing this animated series for Tier Ranker, I've actually been surprised with myself with how many I have
Mm,
seen. There's only
yeah,
been a couple times where I've had to abstain from voting, and we've done
yeah.
three episodes already.
And oddly enough, wasn't one of them Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which I saw before you did
Yeah,
somehow?
yeah. I hadn't seen it before the episode. I have since seen it,
Right.
and if I would probably I wouldn't go S tier. I'd probably go
I go A plus,
like
A
A. Yeah,
plus.
yeah, A plus. It
Yes.
was really good,
Look,
but
give it some time and maybe it'll grow in stature. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I do think it's very good and it will be very rewatchable. And it's certainly one that if somebody had on or whatever, for whatever reason, I would be happy to watch it. And I will probably eventually buy it on 4K if I see it like on Black Friday for like $10
yeah.
or something. I'll probably pick it up because it was very good to look at. But yeah, so having said that, as our good friend Malcolm Lay would say. Should we?
Anyways,
Anyways, should we get things started? Who wants to go
yeah.
first? Do you want me
Uh,
to spin the wheel for you, or would you like to spin the wheel for me?
well,
So,
I've got my wheel pulled up. I think you went first last time, so why don't I go first for you this time?
Okay, all right. So we did the opposite thing. Jacob had it on his phone last time, was holding it up, and then I followed suit this time. But now he tells me, "Oh, I put it on the computer this time." So he ends up putting it on the computer while he's at work. So now he's got it on there, and I've got it on my phone. So I'll hold it up, but it doesn't matter. It's all wheels, and it's all good. So I trust him.
I did it while I was working, and
I know there's no funny business between the two of us. We keep it honest, so it's all good.
I use my phone to play nap time music.
There you go.
We've done CDs for the longest time, but the CD is starting to get scratched, so it like halfway through skipping. So I'm like,
but on Spotify there's nap time music, right? Like there has, or like
I play Disney lullabies every day.
I was even gonna say you could probably even go more specific and say children's nap time music.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's playlists for like children's nap time music.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure because Spotify does their Wrapped at the end of the year. It's going to be all kids music.
I think, it's funny you said, didn't you post something last year about like, hey, it was like one of those things where post your, look at your Spotify and what was your most played song? And for some reason, because I listened to it in my freezer a lot while I was working, I had Holiday Road by Lindsey Buckingham. It was like my number one played thing just because it was a fun song to stack shit off to. So
my number 2 last year was We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
All right. So yeah,
this isn't a podcast about music or Spotify. This is a podcast about movies.
Right.
So
right.
let's get to the movie.
Yeah. I've got your list ready to write down.
Same here. I've got yours ready to go, and I've got my whiteboard just has my numbers so I can keep track of what I've picked so far and what I've got left. And then I will also what we each do is we're each going to write down what we pick for our spots and then run down the list at the very end of the show and see if it makes any kind of sense to us or if we would somewhat agree with it. I know Jacob was not happy that he only had one slot left last time and he had to put I believe it was Princess Mononoke at number 20. I think you were not happy about that. So
I can't remember. I can't remember what was number 1. I think it was something I enjoyed, but not something.
It was something you liked, but you had hesitated on the number 1 spot, and then it ended up being like a movie you liked, but you didn't like overly love, something like that. Yeah, whatever it was.
I should just put Spider-Verse at number 1.
Yeah, I think yes. You put Spider-Verse at number 2, and you're like, yeah, I should have put Spider-Verse at number 1. I would have been happy with that. But we'll see what happens. You can't hesitate sometimes. But we'll see. Will we learn from last time about strategy? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to spin the wheel.
All right, give it a spin. And as we spin them, we'll talk about the movie for a minute or so. Our kind of general thoughts on it, and what we're thinking about where we're going to put it. So, yeah.
And your first movie is Paranormal Activity.
Okay, so I'm not the biggest fan of the Paranormal Activity movies. I've said this many times, even on the found footage tournament we did. Even the original one, I saw it. It was fine. I think the third one's actually the best one. I think they got kind of a little bit better with 2 and 3 because they put a little bit more stuff in there as far as a little more, not like action, but there was more things going on because the first one's a lot when you go back and watch it of you watching footage of them sleeping. And I wanted to go to sleep while I was watching it. And I was like, I don't understand the hype for this. And then it gets good in like the last 10 minutes. I'm pretty confident I'm going to put this in one of the lower slots. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this one at number 19.
All right.
I will save that 20 spot, but yeah, I'm not super high on the original Paranormal Activity. Maybe one of the oddball sequels I might put a little higher, but I'll just go 19 for Paranormal Activity because I don't love it.
Right. And so, I told Austin this off screen, but also if a movie comes out that has a remake, I do not have remakes on the list. This is all originals. So.
Although you could totally do a list for me of all horror remakes, and I could
definitely could.
So
I could do horror remakes, horror sequels.
That's what I mean. If you next time wanted to do either all remakes or all sequels for one of my lists, you could do that, and I could definitely do that, and I would have no problems there.
That's a good idea.
We'll keep that in mind. But all right, I'm gonna give yours one last little shuffle on the list here, and spin, spin, spin. There it is. Spin, spin, spin. Let's see what we got here. Coming to a stop, and we have there it is. It's gonna be Pinocchio, the original 1940.
Okay.
Pinocchio. All right.
Okay, yeah, we ranked this pretty high when we did
our tier ranker, right?
We did our tier ranker. if you had put 2022 on there,
No.
I don't know where I would put
I
this
wouldn't
one.
do that to you. That's not one of the stinkers. I can promise you that.
No, the Del Toro one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Not
mean,
not no no
I was
not the
thinking the
not the remake.
stupid Tom Hanks one.
Yeah, no, not that one.
No. I do not have the. It's a little recent. It's a little too recent, so I didn't put
Okay.
the Del Toro one on there just yet.
Um,
Yeah.
I didn't put any recent ones on here. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
I would know where the
Yeah.
okay, but anyway, no, this one's really good, a really good story. When you wish upon a star is such an iconic song.
Yeah.
Um, mhm. I'm not as high on it as most people. I do recognize that it's a great animated movie and that it's pretty iconic. So I'll go. I'm still gonna go top 10.
Okay.
I'll go number 7.
Number 7 for Pinocchio. Okay. 1940s OG Pinocchio. All right. Cool. All right. Number 7 for Jacob.
Spinning your wheel.
Okay.
Wheel of morality. Turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. All right, so we've got Carrie.
Oh, okay. 1976. All right. Yeah, I'm a pretty decent fan of Carrie. I don't watch it like over and over again or anything like that. I actually caught it on TV at my dad's house not too long ago and watched it again.
Hmm.
That last 20 minutes is really good. I do like the characters. You know what? I think I'm gonna make this. This is a good benchmark because it's a really good movie. It's a really solid movie, and I might compare the rest of the list to my love of Carrie. So I'm going to put it right smack in the middle at number 10. So because
Right.
I think I kind of did that with The Exorcist last time. I think
You
The
did.
Exorcist and The Exorcist again, a movie I respect that I think is good, but not like a personal favorite. But it's like a
Mhm.
good like line in the sand to be like better. Do I like it more or less than that? So I'll say more or less for Carrie. I think that'll work for me. So yeah.
I like
All
that.
right. All right. That's where I thought you were going with Pinocchio. Actually, I thought you
Mm.
were going to drop it at like that number 10. Better or
It was
worse.
it's that 7 to 10 range. So
Yeah.
it was where I was thinking.
All right. So let's spin your wheel. Here we go. Spin, spin, spin. Nice bright colors there. Here it comes. Slowing down, and we have slowing down to Shark Tale from 2004.
All right. This is a movie that I have seen once.
Uh
A
huh.
movie that I don't really remember much about, so I feel very confident putting this in that number 20 spot.
Oh, you're gonna drop it that down
I
low.
am. I
Okay.
it's not
All
one that I've
right.
gone back to. I can't really. I know I've seen it, so I don't
Yeah.
want to be like, well, I don't really remember much of it. So spin again. So, but I have
And
seen it. I
just
just
the
don't
one
remember
trivia
much.
bit that Martin Scorsese is like a voice in it, which is random and weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is probably the other. Yeah, like the cast is probably the only thing I really
It's like
remember
Will
about this
Smith, but like,
movie.
and then Will Smith didn't do another one until what, Spies in Disguise or something. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
yeah, he doesn't
something
do
like
much
that. Yeah,
animated fare. Yeah. Okay. Well, Shark Tale dropping it all the way down in that bottom slot. We'll see if that comes back to bite you or not, Jacob. We'll see.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. But you're not
I have some.
I like that you're not hesitating this time. I do like
I,
that. So,
yeah,
all right. All right.
I've shuffled your wheel a couple times. It is now
Yeah.
spinning. It's going around,
Yeah. I'm going to
and it's
shuffle
going to
yours
stop
every 2 or 3
on.
spins.
All right, it's stopping on Ginger Snaps.
Got to be honest, I haven't actually sat down and watched Ginger Snaps, so you
All
might have
right,
to ask me that one and spin it again
so we
because
will remove
I
that.
know of it. I know it's the werewolf movie, but I have not sat down and watched Ginger Snaps,
Okay.
so that's one of the oddball full moon ones I haven't watched. Now, if you said Puppet Master or any of those, I could name those, but no. So
Well, now we have Videodrome.
Videodrome. Oh, James Woods. Okay, well,
Yeah,
David
I just
Cronenberg.
recently watched this for the first time. Quite
Yeah,
enjoyed it, actually.
Videodrome is a very weird, dark, disturbing movie. Yeah, it's got some really wonky stuff, like when he grows kind of like a VHS player in his tummy,
Yeah.
and he's feeding it, tapes and things. And yeah, there's like weird BDSM tapes throughout the movie. Yeah, it's a really good, solid movie. I've probably only seen it twice. I'm gonna put it in the bottom half, but not like way down because I still think it's good, and I am fascinated by the movie. So I'll go number 13 for Videodrome.
All right.
Yeah, because I would probably watch Carrie over Videodrome if you put it in
Okay.
front of me. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. All right, let me hit the shuffle button on yours again, and here we go. Spin, 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 spin. Slowing down. Could be almost one. Oh, it's right on the border. What's it gonna? Ooh, James and the Giant Peach. All
All
right, I
right.
know that's a favorite of yours. So let's do
I
it.
love
Yeah.
this movie. Yeah, it's got that.
Yeah.
I believe it's Henry Selick still.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he does this. Got that Tim Burton style. Not as creepy as like a Coraline or
Yeah.
even a Nightmare Before Christmas. But yeah, I love this movie. I like the starting out as the live action and then turning into this sort of claymation,
Mm-hmm.
stop motion animation. I love the characters. Richard Dreyfuss does the voice of, I believe it's the is it a worm?
It's like a
Dinosaur?
centipede or something or whatever it is.
Centipede.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I think he's just a lot of fun. I don't know if the kid has done anything since or anything
Yeah,
of note.
I don't remember him like seeing him in other '90s movies because I was a '90s guy, so like I would have recognized him from some other kids movie if he did other stuff, but I don't think he did. Yeah, the stepmothers or whatever they were always creepy.
Yeah, the step ants.
And their rotten teeth and all that. Yeah, that was always gross.
Oh, what was the other? I know it's Spike and I can't remember who the other one is.
Yeah.
But, let me mute this. I'm gonna go number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go number 4.
I figured if this one came up, this might be a top 5er for you at
Yeah.
least. So I know you're a big fan of it. Yeah. All right.
There we go.
The Giant Peach at number 4. Okay.
Muted.
Yeah. Sounds good.
We will spin.
Mhm.
Spin, spin, spin.
Mhm.
And we have gotten to. All right, we've gotten to Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. I watched it not too long ago for a Battleground match because it's been a while since I watched it. One of those public domain movies that you can watch damn near anywhere because it just is.
Yeah.
So literally, it's been uploaded to YouTube 90,000 times. Even with that, I still own the Criterion Blu-ray, even though it's like available everywhere because it's free. Yeah, it's a really good movie. I think it does hold up. I like Dawn and Day a little bit better in the actual Romero Dead series, but it's still a really good movie that I like the atmosphere, I like the black and white. It started a lot of the tropes that we kind of still use today. I'm gonna go number 11 for Night of the Living Dead.
All right.
Yeah, because it's still good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it the first time I'd
the guy who plays Dwayne, he's really, really good, and yeah, there's some strong performances and stuff, some good psychological stuff in there with the survivors. So
I need to give it a rewatch. It's been about a year. I think I'm due for.
Well, it's very easy to watch, Jacob. It's literally everywhere online.
Oh, yeah.
And it's free. We could play the movie in the corner of our screen right now and wouldn't get copyrighted. Let's just put it that way because it's public domain. So
Ooh, watch along.
Let's watch along right now. Yeah, exactly. All right, so pull your wheel up, and here we go again. Spin, spin, spin. Pulling up another animated movie for Mr. Jacob. Okay, this is the wild card where I'm not sure about, and we'll see. Rockadoodle.
Okay. This is one that I watched in my childhood. The Rockin' Chicken.
Yeah.
Elvis. I remember loving it growing up. Tried to rewatch it recently, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And
I haven't seen it in ages.
Yeah, it's definitely a product of its time. It's definitely geared more towards kids, I think, because I was still like, yeah, I can see why I like this as a kid, but nowadays probably not going to turn it on as much. So that being said, I still feel a little nostalgic when it's brought up. I'll go 15 for Rockadoodle.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go 15 because
15. All right.
There's nothing egregious about it. It's just not something I'm going to go back to.
It's not going to be one of your personal favorites. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I remember it used to come on cable a lot.
Yeah, I believe it's free on YouTube as well.
Probably, yeah. That sounds about right. But I think it's a good if I remember right, like last time I looked at like a good 75 minutes though. So that's
Yeah,
always
it's
positive.
short. Yeah.
Oh yeah, real positive. All right. Rockadoodle at number 15 for Jacob.
All right. Your next movie
Yeah.
will be. All right. We've got Poltergeist.
Okay, my boy Toby Hooper, and he directed that movie, not Steven Spielberg. Many people have attested to that, so stop with that nonsense. Yeah, Poltergeist, maybe the best PG horror movie ever made because it's technically PG. It might have been re-rated nowadays at PG-13, but at the time it was a PG horror movie, and it's one of the ones along with Temple of Doom and Gremlins that kind of pushed that PG-13 rating before it existed. But yeah, it still really works. Good characters, really solid atmosphere, and yeah, that last 30 minutes is nutty with that they used actual real dead bodies and kind of
Oh,
like actual skeletons, and some of the makeup is still really good. Music's excellent. Yeah, this one's a good one. I'll go number 7 for Poltergeist. Yeah,
all
that'll be
right.
a top tenner because yeah, it's good, and yeah, Toby, my boy Toby, does not get the respect he deserves for directing that movie, and yeah, he did for sure. Many people have attested to that. So, so
So on a future
okay,
episode.
so that'd be a good time then. Let me see if I can grab it really quick. Hang on. I guess it would be a good time for me to bust out my brand new Poltergeist 4K that I haven't busted out yet and
Oh,
watched.
nice.
So, that would give me an excuse to pop that in. So there you go. Poltergeist. All right. That'll be a good rewatch because it's been a minute since I sat down and watched the whole thing like front to back. So
And I've never actually seen it, so it'll be
never
a first
seen it?
time. It's
It's a good one. It's a good
I was
one.
I was hoping something that landed at that spot would be something I hadn't seen.
Okay, so there you
Yeah.
go. That works then. Yeah,
Yeah,
Poltergeist is
I like
a
that.
good one. Yeah, yeah. You can see when we watch it, you can see the Spielberg influence on it because it's like a suburbia family.
Okay.
It's got this like family dynamic with the kids. It's got like Spielberg touches on it, but like it's got some bonkers horror moments too. It's got the famous clown doll thing. It's got a tree that eats people. It's pretty nuts.
Oh, nice.
So
I
it's
do.
fun, fun stuff. You have it. At least have the
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
I do have the Blu-ray. I will be
Oh,
opening it
there you
very
go. See,
soon.
yeah. I
Yeah.
opened it, but I have not actually popped in Poltergeist, so I'll
I'll
check that out.
leave that out so I know that it's in the
Nice.
queue.
All right. Well, you have not hit your number yet. I'll do the same as you.
Okay.
When you hit it, I'll reveal it, but we'll see. All right. Okay, so let me get your wheel going here. Hit the shuffle button again, and here we go. All right. Spin, spin, spin. Here we go. Coming around. It's going to be on the border again. Okay, we've got Paranorman.
Okay.
Paranorman.
Okay. Yeah. This is a good one. This is a fun one to watch. Sort of around Halloween time. This is another one because I don't do just straight horror through the month of October. I'm not like I said, I'm not a horror guy, but these sort of family friendly horror.
Well, it's a kid who's
and,
into classic horror and like
Yeah.
in his own where he watches like I like that there's a beginning part where he's watching an old movie and it's like an old crummy movie to where even in the movie within the movie there's like the boom mics are hanging in the shot and like this weird stuff, like he's watching like a really crummy like 50s movie. Like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect way to describe this movie. It's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I think I'll go number 11.
Number 11
Just outside the top 10, but
all right. Yeah, I have that new 4K of Paranorman. I picked up that and Coraline.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks great on 4K. I'll say that. So, it looks really, really good. Yeah. All right.
Leica knows what they're doing.
Yes.
I wish they'd come back with something else.
Yeah.
All right, your wheel is spinning, and we will land on. All right, Midsommar.
Midsommar, yeah, I like Midsommar. It's a good one. Old Ari Aster's got a new one coming out. Beau Was Afraid.
I'm looking forward to that. That's one I've avoided like all trailers for that one. I just want to go into it not knowing anything.
I haven't been able to because they played the trailer 2 or 3 times with other movies I've seen, so I've been able to avoid that. But it still looks like I still don't really know what the plot is, even with the trailers.
Okay.
Like it's just a bunch of random stuff, and you don't know how to connect.
Yeah, it's Ari Aster. It's Joaquin Phoenix. I'm in.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. As far as Midsommar, I love a good creepy cult movie. I like the original Wicker Man. People stuck in a crazy situation, a bunch of crazy people. It was definitely one of the wildest movie experiences I ever saw. Just wanting to see where it goes, and where it goes is pretty is pretty nutty. Um, I'm gonna go a really solid number 8 because I've only watched it twice. I'm trying to save those like top 5 spots for movies that I like. I dig, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
we'll see. I mean, there may or may not be on your list. I don't know what's on your list, so I'll say spots that I don't know if I'll be able to fill in, but we'll see. But I'll go number 8 for.
That's the beauty of not knowing what
I know
comes.
that's the beauty of it because I don't know, and so yeah, it's like I'm saving it for this, but yeah, what if nothing comes up and I'm stuck with Children of the Corn? I don't know, whatever it is. So, all right, well, let's get your wheel here going once again. Again, there are some bangers on here. I can promise you that, and all kinds of stuff in between. So let's see what we got. Okay, it's just over the line at the Great Mouse Detective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I enjoy this one. Great villain in Radigan, voiced by Vincent Price. uh, did an we did a Disney voice acting draft over on Dylan Randazzo's channel,
Mm.
and we had to pick. It was I believe it was two Renaissance. No, I think it was just two Renaissance and then two pre and then one post.
Yeah.
And Vincent Price was my pick for pre because I think he's just incredible.
Mm.
Yeah, fun take on the Sherlock Holmes story. I'm not. It's one that I enjoy, but it's not one that I'm like over the moon about. So I'll go 13.
That might depend on if you're one of those people that had it on VHS when you were a kid. I know
Yeah.
people who had it on VHS are much higher on it than other people that didn't watch it over and over again. Yeah, I didn't own it on VHS, but I had a friend who did, so I watched
Okay.
it, saw it 2 or 3 times growing up, but not it wasn't one of my collection. So yeah, I tend to think that seems to be the common thread with how high people rate that movie.
I think that's true. I feel like that's true for most 80s Disney, with the exception of The Little Mermaid.
Mm. Okay.
Like if you didn't watch it growing up, then yeah, most of them are good, but you're not like over the moon about them.
Yeah, totally. I'm high on the Little Mermaid. I watch that one all the time. So, all right.
All right, we have. Ooh, it's close to the line. Okay, we have an American Werewolf in London.
Okay. Yeah, Werewolf in London is really good. Again, it's not one I saw a lot growing up, but it's one I've seen more as an adult, and I've grown to appreciate, to go back and appreciate the special effects. And the horror makeup show at Universal Studios has a little segment about American Werewolf in London, still about the pneumatic like face that expands in the transformation sequence and stuff. Like they showed the little robot, and yeah, some of that again, that last hour is really good. I like the stuff with his buddy kind of decomposing throughout the movie as he keeps popping up. That stuff is fun. It's got a good sense of humor. You know what? I'll feel confident putting this one at 5. Let's put this one
Okay.
at 5.
All right.
Because it's very, very good. And it does get better every time I watch it, because I used to just be kind of like okay with it. And then again, as I watched it more and more, I kind of realized how great it was, and really started to appreciate the kind of blend of the genres and stuff. So of comedy and horror. So yeah, it's really good. We'll go 5. All right. All right. Sounds good. Here we go. Spin for Jacob. Let's get one of those bangers in here. Come on now. Come on, Wheel. We'll see. Not quite there yet, but we'll see how. I don't know how much you like this movie. Being talked about a lot recently because of the news about some new casting, but Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this is another one that I think is a lot of fun. I love that it's two sisters, and the older sister is taking care of Lilo, and it's a fun like kid and her dog type of movie. I love the fact that they're using the Elvis music. I think it was really fun. It's been a minute since I've seen this though. If live action is really going to happen, I might rewatch it soon.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. It's one that I think I'll just put just outside the top 10 again. It's kind of on that same level as Paranorman.
Yeah.
So I'll put it at number 12.
Okay. All right. I figured that'd be somewhere around there. Lilo and Stitch. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that one came out the year I worked at the movie theater, 2002. So I saw it then. I
Okay.
don't know if I've seen it since then. That'd be one that I would maybe squeeze in if I felt enough interest that it would come up on our 2000s tier ranker next Tuesday. Like we'll see. I
Eh?
don't know. It could. I mean, I don't know about S tier, but some
Right.
somebody might bring it up for like A tier or something. So, but it's been a minute. I know I've seen it, but it's been a long time, long time.
All right. Well, I've spun your wheel, and
Uh-huh.
we are going to go to the oldest movie that I have put on this list. This movie is, in fact, now it's over 100 years old. I've got Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Okay, I figured it when you said that it was going to be Nosferatu. So yeah, it works. I think the makeup and the look of the creature is certainly iconic. You know what we do in the shadows with Peter, is like a rip on Nosferatu, and there's a good reason for that. And I think there's a new one coming out with Bill Skarsgård, if I'm right, where he's going to
I
play
feel like I've heard that
Nosferatu.
too.
Yeah, they're going to make a new version, which I'm fine with because again, that movie's over 100 years old, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with them doing another version. They sort of did another pseudo remake with Willem Dafoe in a movie called Shadow of the Vampire, where he played the actor who was playing Nosferatu.
Oh.
And it's I don't know if you've ever seen that one. It's a cool little movie. Yeah, it's about the making of Nosferatu. It's kind of cool.
Huh. We'll make a good double feature sometime.
I'm not super huge on like silent movies. It's a genre that I'm trying to get into with more like Buster Keaton, like Charlie Chaplin kind of stuff, and especially the older horror movies. Like they're cool to look at. Again, they're like 65 minutes. They're really fast, but I'm more fascinated with them than I like them.
Okay.
I'll go, but I don't think it's bad, so I'll go 16
for
that one. Because that's a movie that like it's good, but it kind of feels like homework when you watch it. Where it's like I'm kind of watching this just for historical sake, rather than for pleasure. There's another movie called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari that people like.
Really I debated putting that on the list.
Yeah, and that one's got a little more atmosphere and was a little more groundbreaking as far as just like being a cool like horror movie around the time of the Universal stuff. I like the Universal horror movies like a lot more than those types of movies in the 30s and 40s. Like I like those movies a lot. But yeah. All right.
Really good.
Yeah. All right. So let's spin. Seems to be pulling up all the kind of mid-tier ones that I put in here. So hopefully we're weeding those out and then we're getting some good stuff. Okay, here we go. So I think my one Studio Ghibli movie on here.
Okay.
It's going to be Spirited Away.
No, okay. I love this movie. I think this movie is so cool. Just all the different like creature designs. The story is really good. I feel very confident in putting this at number 1.
Oh wow, he's going to jump right to number 1.
Very confident because even if there's another movie that I like more, I could make an argument that on any given day this could be like one of my top 3
favorites. Okay,
favorites. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
and probably knowing that like The Lion King isn't on the list or and stuff like that.
Assuming you don't know, we'll see.
Well, maybe I did mess up then, but I love this movie.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So. I think it's the best Studio Ghibli movie out there. So
okay,
I have no problem putting it at number 1.
All right, Jacob knocking off his number 1 with Spirited Away. All right, well there you go. So you have now knocked out your 1 and 20. So it's just everything in between now. All right, interesting. And I still have both of my 1 and 20s left right now. Yeah. But again, I don't feel like I've got one that I outright hate yet because Paranormal Activity is the closest one so far, and then I don't have one so far that I outright am like over the moon about. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Let's see how you feel about The Omen.
I'm not huge on The Omen. I think it's kind of overrated. I kind of like the remake a little bit more. It might be a hot take. I just think it's a little more exciting. I think there's moments in the original Omen that are really good. The original, it's all for you, Damon, and the chick jumps out the window with the noose around her neck. Like it's still crazy. The score is good. There's good performances. Gregory Peck, stuff like that. But again, I'm not huge on The Omen. I don't hate it, but like I think it's kind of overrated, just me personally. So I'm gonna go 17 on The Omen. Okay. I don't love The Omen. I'll watch it, but like I don't love it. I have the box set over there from Scream Factory, but yeah. say if you have it more in reach than I do.
I've got this one.
I've got the. I know. Hang on a second. I've got the. It's a damn cool box set as far as artwork wise and everything. I mean, this thing's beautiful. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's got great artwork. It's got all the original 4 and the remake in there.
Okay, this one just has the 4.
Yeah, no, this one has everything, and it's a cool set, and they all look great. And again, I appreciate them for what they are. I'm just not huge on the Omen just in general. I kind of prefer, as far as like creepy kids go, more like a Pet Cemetery kind of guy. So yeah, that sort of thing. But yeah, all right. So let's get this going here and spin your wheel again. So once again, Jacob's already knocked off his 1 and 20. So we'll see what we got here. Okay. What do you feel about the Emoji Movie?
19.
Yeah, are you regretting that number 20 now? That was the one I threw in there where I was like, man, I don't know if it'll come up, but that'd be a sure spot for a stinky number 20.
I'll tell you, I think the Emoji Movie is more memorable than Shark Tale.
Okay, maybe a little more entertaining.
not in a good way, but
in a perverse way. Yeah. Yeah, that movie sucks. It's not good.
That's how much we made its own tier.
I had to throw one outright stinker in there just for a wild card. So I was hoping you wouldn't have knocked off your 20 already, because that would have been a surefire.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's more you can at least drink and laugh at the Emoji Movie, and Shark Tale's maybe just kind of boring, something like that.
That's a fair argument, I think.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it's still number 19. It's still not far off.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
All right. I've spun your wheel, and we are on Hellraiser.
Okay. I like Hellraiser. I like Hellraiser 2 more, but I still like Hellraiser. That's one. If you do one of all sequels, that would be fun, because I'm a Hellraiser 2 guy, and I really like the new Hulu one that came out. I'm a big fan of that Hellraiser, of the newest one. But the original Hellraiser is still really solid, and I do like it. It's got some good effects. I love this when the Cenobites come in at the end. It's got the story with the with the Frank dude, trying to sort of regenerate, almost like the Mummy and the Stephen Summers Mummy. Every time you like kill somebody, he kind of regenerates a little bit more, so he gets a little more skin and a little more skin, and it's all right as far as that goes. I'll go number 9 for Hellraiser, because again, there's 2 other Hellraisers I like more, but it's still a good movie, so I'll go number 9. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah,
your list is halfway complete.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I still got some top spots. I've got some kind of lower mid-tier spots and a bottom spot. Okay. Oh man, there better be some good movies coming up, or I'm going to be sliding some bad stuff in there. Okay. All right. So we got another 90s movie, and it's going to be Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Okay. Yeah. I like Beavis and Butthead. I don't love Beavis and Butthead. I think this movie is a lot of fun. I think Beavis and Butthead are I think they're hilarious, but it's not something I go back to very often. So that's why I'm gonna put it at 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like a top 10 for me is something I'm gonna go back to.
Yeah.
More frequently, and I don't think Beavis and Butthead is just one of those movies for me. I can understand why other people do.
No, I love it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. But I think it's a great road trip movie and a great comedy. Yeah, I love me some Beavis and Butthead too. But I'm a Beavis and Butthead fan anyway. So, and I thought the movie was perfect for what it was trying to do. As far as a movie, and it was entertaining.
Yeah, I still need to watch the reboot that they've done. I haven't watched it, and I saw that there's a new season dropping pretty soon.
Yeah, there's a new season dropping. The most recent season was fun. They do some old Beavis and Butthead, not like old man, but like they're like in their like around 50, and Butthead is just completely out of shape and like walking around with like a cane or a walker. Nice. Just completely, they're both just total losers, and you know, Beavis is just like kind of this caretaker. Like, yeah, I mean, they're just on, you know, government assistance, and you know, they're exactly where you thought they'd end up. Yes, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, they do, but they mix in a little bit of that with classic Beavis and Butthead. It's pretty fun.
That's hilarious. I probably will binge that one of these days.
Uh-huh.
All right. So your wheel has been shuffled. We are spinning. Start working on the second half of your list.
Yeah. Hope I get some
All
bangers
right.
in here. We'll see.
So we've got Alien.
Okay. Okay. So even though I've said I'm more of an Aliens guy than Alien, that is no disrespect to Alien. Much like
Right.
if I prefer Terminator to Terminator 2 just slightly, it's no disrespect to Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is still in my top 20, as is the original Terminator. So the original Alien is still excellent. I just have to be in the right mood to watch it. And I've seen it, you know, a good 8 or 9 times. I've seen it a lot. I've even watched on YouTube there was a little bit of press about there was a high school that did a stage play of Alien. Do you remember this at all?
No.
And they made their own like suits and they made their own alien costume. So much so that they did an encore because Sigourney Weaver came and attended it live because she heard about it and
Awesome.
actually went and she went backstage and like met everybody and took pictures of everybody and sat in the front row and watched it live. Like
That is great.
It's pretty great and they did a good job with it. And yeah, I like that it's kind of a one location movie. I like the setting. It's still pretty damn great. So, oh, man, you know what? Like I'm not gonna jump all the way, but I'll do a number 2 for Alien because
Okay.
Alien's pretty damn great. I'm still waiting for that one that's like great and a favorite of mine and a personal favorite. Potentially, I don't know if it's there, but we'll see. But Alien is, I'm confident enough that it's a pretty damn great movie. And yeah, it's no disrespect to Alien that I just love Aliens more. I've just watched it
Right.
more and I just dig it. But I have seen Alien in a theater, which I do recommend.
Oh, nice.
It works very, very well when they do those anniversary screenings and stuff. If you ever get a chance to, definitely do that.
Yeah, I wish the theater that was closest to me did those. They don't do like any like of any of these anniversaries.
Yeah,
They,
I mean,
whatever's new is what they're showing.
the one up the road was kind of the crummy theater, but there was nobody there when I got to see Aliens finally in the theater. It was in one of those smaller screens, but I still got to see it in a theater, which was cool. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm happy that I actually got to do that. But yeah, I could definitely recommend Alien on the big screen if you ever get a chance to.
Thanks for watching, Jordan. What's up?
Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, we're doing our blind rankings here. We're about halfway through. So
now, are you running and lifting weights at the same time? Because that would be
get those
pretty
ankle
impressive.
weights on. All right, so yours is coming to a stop on the Lego Movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the Lego Movie the Lego Movie is what the Emoji Movie strived to be and failed.
Right. Yes. It's a good version of the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was a big surprise because usually, I'm a little hesitant going into these movies based off existing products, and
Right.
more often than not, they don't work.
You mean
very
like
well.
Barbie, which I still don't know what the hell that movie is?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm optimistic just because of who's involved, but
Sure.
hesitant at the same
I
time.
still don't know what that movie is, or how it's gonna work. We'll see.
I think Simu Liu is gonna steal that movie just based off the trailer, based off what I saw. Like I think he's going to be incredible. But back to the Lego Movie. Yeah, no, this is one that I think is a lot of fun. I think it's got a great voice cast, great characters. Seeing, even if it is Lego form, seeing all these characters come together is just a lot of fun. I'll go number 9 for the Lego Movie.
All right. Well, and that also means that you might be rewatching it because I wrote down number 9 on my paper. Okay. So it'll be a double feature of the Lego Movie and Poltergeist. All right. So, and I think I haven't seen it since theater, so I'm actually somewhat due for a rewatch. But I believe, JKL. Let's see. Oh, I actually do own the Lego Movie on Blu-ray, so
nice.
I do actually own it. And yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, I haven't watched it all the way through since I saw it in theaters, but I remember enjoying it, especially where it ends up kind of with the Will Ferrell character, in real life, like that stuff being pretty good. So it's been a minute, so I'm actually looking forward to a rewatch on that. So
Lord Business.
yeah, there we go. All right, so Lego Movie at number 9, and also the number I wrote down. So there we go.
All right, let's see how you feel about Trick or Treat.
Okay, Trick or Treat is solid. I do like horror anthologies. Some of my favorites are kind of like Creep Show, the original, and some of the early VHS movies. I like Trick or Treat, but again, I haven't gone back to it a lot, but it's good. But I have a hard time like remembering the segments, so it doesn't stick
Mhm.
with me as much as I'd like to every time I do see it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it at that number 12 spot. It's kind of my last remaining like mid-tier spot because everything else is either like those lower slots or those upper slots. So it's either going to be good or bad. So we'll see. I'm burning my last kind of almost right in the middle spot, with number 12. But yeah, I'll burn that one at number 12 because I do like Trick or Treat, but I don't watch it as much as some other people do. So yeah,
Mm.
I like Krampus a little more with Michael Dougherty directing. He
Okay.
did the follow-up Krampus, and I kind of like that one a little bit more. Yeah. All right. So let's give yours another spin here. All right. Spin. And we have got another 90s movie. We've got a Goofy movie.
Okay, I also love a Goofy movie. I loved it as a kid, and I was on Max's side, like, come on, just let him spend the summer with his friends. And now growing up, even though I don't have kids, it's like, come on, Max, just give your dad this one road trip. It's
Sure.
fine. I think the music is fun. It's also a fun road trip movie. Um, I'm gonna go number 2 for a Goofy movie. I
Wow.
love this
All right.
movie.
That's one, Jacob, that when we get to our 90s tier ranker, I need to rewatch because that's another one that's probably been since the 90s since I've actually watched it. So I'm probably going to put that on my priority list for a 90s rewatch because everything else I think I'll be good on. But
Yeah,
Goofy Movie is one of those ones that I need to sit down and rewatch. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. So I probably will because I know people are very, very high. It's the same thing with this next episode coming up. It's been forever since I saw The Emperor's New Groove, so I need to rewatch that because I know some
Okay.
people are super high on
Yeah.
that. So that's one I need to rewatch. But yeah, Goofy Movie will be up there when we get to our 90s show.
I'm those two are gonna be tough to rank.
Yeah.
Speaking of tough to rank, let's see if Rosemary's Baby is tough to rank for you.
Okay. I just sat down and watched it start to finish like a year ago for the first time because I had seen pieces of it. I hadn't actually sat down and watched it in a while. I think it was on Hulu or something. And I sat down and watched it. And yeah, the performances are great. I definitely would argue that Mia Farrow is excellent in that movie. And she has a great, sort of playing this like traumatized woman who goes through something crazy. I do like the paranoia aspect. But again, it's not a personal favorite because I've only seen it the once. And I think it's good. The one sequence where the stuff happens to her, it's almost like a dream sequence, is really, really groundbreaking for 68. But I'll go 14. I'll go 14 for Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, because I think it's solid, but not one of my personals. So yeah, this is gonna, man. I'm afraid I'm gonna run into something I don't love for number one. This is gonna hurt me. We're gonna see. Afraid. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah, I know, because I got like what 15, 18, 20, and then it's like 1, 3, 4, 6.
1, 3, and 4. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So spinning right on the border, a little bit over to Kung Fu Panda 2008. A favorite of mine.
Okay. No, Kung Fu Panda is very solid. I love the action, like the animated action sequences in here. Jack Black is, I think, the perfect choice for Poe. The Furious Five. I think the voice cast just overall is excellent.
I love Dustin Hoffman as Master Shifu. I think he's great. Yeah, great, like kind of karate mentor, kung fu mentor. Like he's really good.
If we did like a tier ranker or a tournament fights of like movie mentors,
yeah,
like I would advocate for him to go pretty far.
Sure.
I'll go. This is one that I feel is kind of on par with the Lego Movie for me personally. So I think my Jack Black bias is just pushing it a little ahead of that one, so I'll put it at number 8.
Number 8. All right. Yeah, that's Kung Fu Panda is one when we get to that 2000 show. I'm probably going to push pretty hard for it because it's in my 128. I love Kung Fu Panda. I think
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
that's one that I might rewatch.
Because I like it even just as a kung fu movie. Like I think
Yeah.
as a student teacher, like the stuff that he teaches them and the journey that he takes, like I think it's still great in that Karate Kid kind of way. I think it's still really good.
Mhm.
So yeah. All right. Kung Fu Panda number 8.
It's been a few spins since I shuffled, so here we go. Let's shuffle it
I'll
up,
shuffle yours up next time for your spin.
and we're gonna spin. See what we land on. We're gonna land on 28 Days Later.
Ooh, okay. It's always a good sign when I own a T-shirt of that movie. So I have a 28 Days Later T-shirt, which would be ironic if I was wearing it right now, but I'm not. Man, this is a good one because I like 28 Days Later a lot. I think it's a damn brilliant movie. I like the way it's shot and kind of that guerrilla style. It kind of looks a little rough, like somebody shot
it
it on a
looks
camcorder.
great.
It looks great. The whole sequence at the beginning where Killian Murphy's like walking the streets of London. It's just empty. The way they shot that is great because it's real. This stuff's terrifying in the movie. A lot of the sequences. Brendan Gleeson's great. Damn.
Yeah, and some of the places they went to in like that last half of the movie, like I was not expecting
No,
that.
yeah, because it turns into like a people are just as bad kind of movie, with
Yeah.
psychotic people, but it's still scary. Damn, man. You know what? Before it gets too late, I better pull the trigger and just put this at number 1 because it's a
All right.
damn great movie. It's in my top
All right.
32 favorite horror movies. So you know what? I better pull the trigger before it's too late because I'm afraid I'm not going to get something as good. Like I might not. But if I do get something that's almost as good, I still have 3 and 4, so I still
Right.
have close.
Yeah.
So I'm not hurting if I have another favorite. But 28 Days Later, I'm trying to go with the logic that I have that. Me and Andres Gallegos did that thing where we each had our top 32 horror movies, and if something in there, I need to go pretty high with it just off the bat, just because I don't know what's going to come up. So at 20 Days Later is on there, so I'll go ahead and burn number 1 with that one.
All right.
Yeah, because that's a damn good movie. All right, shuffle yours up again, and here we go. You got a 3, 5, 6, 10, and then a couple lower spots, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be a lower one. We'll see. Toy Story.
Oh,
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, this was one of the first movies I ever saw
Mhm.
in theaters. Spawned a franchise that I just adore. Spawned a really put a studio on the map too, who I don't think has missed very often. I think they've got like one really big miss and then a couple. Those are fine, but other than that, like.
Mm-hmm.
The studio
for the longest time, I would argue the 90s through most of the 2000s, Pixar movies were event movies. Like they garnered that reputation where they became event movies where you look forward to the next one. You know what I mean? Like what they were going to put out next, and they lived up to the hype for the most part. Yeah. So I've seen this movie so many times. It still holds up, I think. Great voice casting. I'm gonna go number 3 for Toy Story. Yeah, I figured you might go pretty high on that one. Yeah, it's Toy Story. Toy Story's great. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Number 3. All right.
I'm not mad at that 1, 2, 3, 4. If
so far, if you had to stick with that,
I'm mad at that.
Yeah.
All right. We have It Follows.
Okay. Yeah, It Follows is one I've gone back to a lot because it's another sort of paranoia horror movie. It's a looming threat, that gets you here and there. It was one of the better surprises of the 2010s when I saw it in the theater. I love the score to that movie. I listened to it a lot. The dun, 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 like I can still, hum that. And so I think I do have a perfect slot for this one. I think that number 6 slot is looking really good for It Follows because I really, really like it. I don't know if it'd be like a top 5er, but I think it's really, really good and it still works for the premise and the creepiness and the atmosphere of it and some of the good scares. Yeah, I dig it. So I'm gonna go number 6.
All right. Saving those 3 and 4 spots.
Yeah, I know. It's either gonna be 3, 4, 15, 20. Yeah, it's kind of. But you kind of got a similar situation because you got some high ones and you got some low ones. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, spinning yours, coming to a stop. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Aladdin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Aladdin almost as much as Toy Story. Like those early '90s Disney Pixar
Mhm.
are just some of my favorite movies. Period. And yeah, Aladdin again, great music, great voice performances. It took me the longest time to figure out that Aladdin was voiced by Steve from Full House.
Right.
It's just not a name that I know, like Scott, whatever his last name, Winger or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, Scott Winger. Yeah. He's done like these appearances, but yeah, he's like a character actor. But basically, everybody's like, yeah, but you're like, you're an Aladdin. Like you're Aladdin.
Yeah.
It's not really much else. You're Aladdin.
The only thing I was missing from that movie is I still wonder to this day what a Jafar villain song would sound like.
Yeah, because that's the one thing when I did a watch along recently over on Ryan Permison's channel, and we did a watch along, and that's the one thing I pointed out. I was like, it's just odd because you go back and watch this movie and there is no villain song. There's no Jafar song. The closest you come is to the reprise he has at the end where he's like, say hello to your precious Prince Ali.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's a reprise, but it's not a full on song.
No.
And it's a little odd when you have ones like in The Lion King that are great, or The Little Mermaid has a great one. Even Beauty and the Beast has the great Gaston song in the pub. They all have a really good villain song. Yeah, that's the one where they had one. They had filmed, they had storyboarded one. I think even recorded it, but it just never made the movie. It's very strange. Yeah, when you watch it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna round out the top 5.
Yeah, I figured you
With
would.
number 5.
With Aladdin, yeah. That's a good top 5, man. That's a top 5 that I think you could sit down on a weekend. You'd be happy watching all 5.
Definitely. Yeah.
I could see you doing that.
I'm very happy with the top 5 this time.
Yeah. There you go. I'll see if I'm happy with my top 5 because I got 2 more slots I got to fill. We'll see.
True. Let's see if you fill them.
Yeah, we'll see.
One of them will be filled by The Sixth Sense.
Okay. Because I advocated for The Sixth Sense when I was on Rankum and we did a reprise of 90s horror, and I actually closed out the show like when there was one slot left, and I closed out the show with Sixth Sense because I think that movie kind of oddly enough is so good that it gets forgotten as far as 90s horror because it was such a mainstream hit, and that's really unusual for a horror movie to be as big of a mainstream hit as it was. And I still think it's one of the best PG-13 horror movies with amazing performances. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one at number 4 up there. Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, I'm still saving the 3 spot, but yeah, The Sixth Sense is pretty great, and it holds up. It works. One of Bruce Willis's better performances. M. Night Shyamalan, say what you will about Bruce Willis. M. Night Shyamalan always got good performances out of him. So it's, I don't know what it is about them. Maybe they just had good chemistry.
And he got a really good one out of Batista. I thought he was
I like
Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin is still not one of my like top 2 or 3 of the year, but it might be an honorable mention slot come the end of the year.
It was really good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, as soon as it was streaming on Peacock, I was like, first day, I was like, all right.
No, it's good stuff. You know me, I'm a good one location guy. I love those movies.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And it was funny seeing Jonathan Groff, who I know from Hamilton and the voice of Hans in Frozen.
There you go. Your next spin, sir, has come up. Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, I am not the biggest. I'm not the biggest fan of Wreck-It Ralph. I think it is fine, but I'm not as over the moon about it as other people. I think John C. Reilly does a really good job as Ralph. I think Sarah Silverman is fine as Vanellope, but this isn't one of those Disney movies that I'm going back to very often. So I'm gonna put this one. I don't think it's like bad.
Okay.
I think it's okay. So I'll put it at 16.
Okay. You know whose performance I really like in that movie is Alan Tudyk, because you know who he's doing with his affectation and his voice? Because he's sort of doing like this with King Candy. King Candy, we're just not the race. You know what it sounds like, Jacob? He's doing Ed Wynn from Mary Poppins. He's doing Uncle Alfred from Mary Poppins.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Period. Is
So
in Mary
he's
Poppins.
actually said that his King Candy voice is Ed Wynn from Mary Poppins. Essentially, is Uncle Albert. And yeah, that's
Well,
just
that bumps it up a little bit.
yeah. So if you ever go back and see it, listen for that. It's totally Mary Poppins. Like you'll
And Jane Lynch is really good too.
yeah. And Jack McBrayer is good too as Fix It Felix. He's fun. Yeah, fun cast. But yeah, I can see why some people wouldn't be as high. I like it because of the video game stuff. But you know,
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's see where you go with The Conjuring.
I don't love The Conjuring.
Okay.
I that's a franchise I'm not as high on as everybody else seems to be. And if Jordan's listening, he knows this because everybody seems to be high on like The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2. I think they're fine. Like I think the original one's probably still the best one, but it turns into a generic exorcism movie at the end of it, which really bums me out because I think there's a lot of really good stuff in the 1st half, and then they just do a bunch of generic exorcism stuff in the basement at the end. All right, so it's not horrible, and I'm taking a gamble with this, but I'll put it at that number 15 slot.
Okay.
Because I think it's watchable. But now that leaves me with something really great at number 3, something kind of bad at 18, and then I still have my number 20 slot. So it better be something really bad. we'll see. I don't know. I might have your situation at the end where if it gets down to that number 20 and then you pull some movie that I really love and I'm gonna feel like shit when I put it at number 20. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I should just put Paranormal Activity at number 20. It's whatever. Okay. All right, coming up to the Netflix film Klaus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Klaus is really good. I think it's like a fun sort of almost origin story on Santa Claus. J.K. Simmons and Jason Schwartzman, I think, give really good voice performances. I think it's a lot of fun. It's one that I go back to just about every Christmas now, maybe even twice, because I think it's really good. So I have no problem putting this in at that number 10 spot.
Okay, perfect, right in the middle. All right. Klaus. Yeah, I knew you were a fan of it, but yeah, but it's still pretty recent. So fairly recent for 2019, I think, right? Yeah. So. All right. Oh, this is stressful. It's either got to be really good or really bad. Oh, come on.
So we got that 3 spot. Okay. Let's see how you feel about Reanimator.
Oh, I love Reanimator. Yeah, I can't put Reanimator at E tier 20 because I love Reanimator. I'm happy putting it 3 because I probably would have done that in the top 10 anyways, and that's my only slot left because I really like Reanimator and it's pretty damn bonkers. I kind of like From Beyond a little bit more, the kind of sort of follow up to that movie, not like a sequel, but it's kind of the follow up from the same filmmakers.
Okay,
Stuart Gordon. I'm a bigger fan of From Beyond, but Reanimator is plenty bonkers. Great performance. What's his name? Is the doctor? Jeffrey Combs. He's really good, and yeah, it's properly 80s and nutty. So I'm happy putting it at 3, but now I'm scared because all I've got is bad slots left. So I'm happy with.
I'm almost in the same boat though because I've got 17, 18.
And then you got a 6.
Number 6. So.
Yeah, so you got a good slot, and then you got some like rough slots. Okay, well we'll see what you. I will say there's still some kind of mediocre ones in here, but there's some bangers in here too. So we'll see.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we'll see how you feel about Despicable Me.
Oh man. I really like Despicable Me.
I do too.
I think Steve Carell is fantastic. I'm gonna say I'm taking the same risk. I'm putting it at that number 6 spot.
You're in that same slot as I am.
Yeah, because I don't. I can't put it in 17 or 18 because it's not like it's not a bad movie, or I don't even think it's a fine movie. I think it's a really good movie.
I think we're each going to have some apologizing to do to our movies that might come up. We'll see. Maybe. I would say for your list, there are some movies on here I think you would be okay with putting at the bottom half. I'll say that.
Okay. And
now I don't know about what you have for me, so
right.
I'm stuck. So we'll see. But maybe you don't know my thoughts on it, so you never know.
Exactly.
Because I don't love like The Omen and Paranormal Activity like some people do. So, you know. Oh boy. Oh god. I don't know.
We have Jaws.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, damn it. I knew I should have waited. I'm sorry, Jaws.
Oh man.
This is my Princess Mononoke. I'm sorry, Jaws. Because you know it's in my top 10 movies of all time. You know that.
Yep.
Sorry, Jaws. I'm sorry. I guess it default takes number 18 because it's not a 20. Jordan would be happy putting a number 18. He's listening.
Right. Yeah, I already wrote
Man,
it
I
down
should have.
as soon as it popped up.
Should have saved that number 3 spot. I could have put Jaws there. Son of a.
Oh man.
Ah.
Yeah, Alien and Jaws were the movies. Was like, well, there are other genres inside of it.
Yeah, no, they are definitely horror. They count.
Yeah.
So I can't fault you for that. Yeah, Jaws is. Damn it. Knew that was going to happen. So that's
as soon as you put number 3 up, I was like, oh, Jaws is going to be the next movie.
it's going to be, yeah. Well, I will say there's some bangers on here that if they come up,
yeah, it's going to be the same thing too. Oh my goodness.
We're each going to have a Princess Mononoke on here that we're not happy about. All right, spinning. Let's see. Oh boy, this is a movie we've talked about too. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The movie we talked about on this show that we both thought is a phenomenal hidden gem.
I love this movie more and more every time I watch it.
Yeah.
If we did our 128s again on tournament fights, this movie would be included.
Uh-huh.
So I'll put it at 17, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I know. I figured you wouldn't be.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So what movie
do I absolutely hate that I probably
What movie is going to be at that number 20 spot for you? We are spinning.
Oh, I boxed myself in.
And we are going to land on Dr. Sleep.
Okay, I'll say this. It obviously goes to where it goes because I don't have any choice. I'm not as high on Dr. Sleep as everybody else is. I think it's good.
Okay.
I don't think it's better than The Shining. Some people have said that, Jordan. It's not as good as The Shining. Because I think, actually, didn't The Shining come up on mine last time? I had it like number 3 or something like that. Yeah. So I think Dr. Sleep is great. It's a very good movie. Great Mike Flanagan movie. It's not better than The Shining. Fuck, it's not number 20. God damn it.
Right.
So,
I'm one of those who said
if I had the open spaces, right, I put it at like number 9 or 10.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if I had the spaces, because that's like another good like judge of like, is it better or worse than Dr. Sleep? Because like I think it's really good.
Yeah, I'm one of those who it's one of those weird situations because it's like I prefer Dr. Sleep over The Shining, but I'm also like I recognize that The Shining is probably a better movie.
Sure.
It just I go back to Dr. Sleep more for whatever reason.
That one's not as egregious as Jaws.
Right.
Because Dr. Sleep's not like a top 10 movie of all time for me. You know what I mean? Like the Jaws one, that's my Mononoke that's gonna suck when you read it back to me, and I'm gonna go, oh god, shit.
Would you like to know the movies that are left on the list?
Well, you still got one more for your 18.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do that in a second. I'll tell you the movies I got left off of yours, but let's spin the wheel one last time for you and see what ends up in your number 18.
Number 18.
Number 18. Spin. Ooh, it might be one that fits. Okay. It works, Jacob. You'll be happy about this. Cars 2.
Okay. Yeah.
You'd be happy with that.
Yeah. I think if anything, I would put Shark Tale up to that number 18 spot and then push everything back. One spot, but Cars 2 at 18.
Yeah.
Don't hate it.
All right. You see,
we do hate it. Don't hate the placement.
Okay, so we each have one at 17 or 18 that we hate having there.
Yeah.
So not in the 20 spot per se, because again, I like Dr. Sleep, but it's not like a personal favorite, so that was not as bad.
Right.
But like the Jaws is worse, like a couple of numbers higher. And I know
Hunchback at 17.
Yeah.
I'd probably go 6 or 7 for that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the ones I left off for you that I'll probably mix into the next show when we come back to it because we'll forget what we put on here anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. So I had a couple of bangers. So Shrek was on the table.
Oh, okay.
Frozen on the table.
Yeah, top 12, 10, somewhere in
Okay.
there.
Secret of Nim.
Oh, it's a banger. Yep.
Okay. It almost landed on the border. It scooted over into Cars 2. It almost landed on Big Hero 6.
Okay, yeah, that's one that I'm not as high on as other people, but I probably put in that 11 to 15 range if it had come
Yeah,
up.
yeah. The Boss Baby.
16 to 20.
Okay. The Incredibles.
Number one, number
Yeah,
two,
right. I
somewhere in
figured
there.
if it had come up, I knew you would have put it top 3.
Yeah,
Because I know
if
you
that
love
was my
it.
number 18, I would have ended the
You would have
stream.
yeah, you might have ended the stream. So
Yeah, all
when it
right,
came
let's
out
see you
Cars
next
2,
week.
when it came out Cars 2, I was like, I was hoping it
Oh.
would either be Cars 2, Boss Baby, or one other one that I'll say in a second. Okay, so Five Will Goes West was on the table.
Okay, that's another 11 to 15. I haven't gone. I go back to the first one. I think a lot more.
A Bug's Life.
Ooh, that one's tough. It'd be in the bottom half for sure.
Okay.
But
South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
probably that 11 to 15 range as well. Probably the same level as Beavis and Butthead for me.
The Princess and the Frog.
Another 11 to 15.
And then the last one that I think you would have been okay putting in that slot was Minions.
But yeah, that's a 16. Yeah, I don't hate them as much as everyone else, but
Sure. You would have been okay with that.
not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I had like 3 or 4 that if it spun and you got Cars 2, I was like, he'd be okay with this one, but maybe not some of these other ones. Like if you had to put Shrek there or The Incredibles, I think you would have been very unhappy.
Yeah, because The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie.
Right, and I knew that. So yeah, it just didn't get spun. So I'll rotate it into the next time, and we'll see.
All right, so yeah, the ones that I will be rotating in. We'll see. I'll start with this one because this is the one that I was like, maybe he's seen it, maybe he hasn't. It's called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
So funny you should say that because I just watched it for the first time.
Okay.
Last Halloween. So yeah, I like it. I don't know if I love it, but it's really interesting. It's really unique. Yeah, nice little mockumentary. If I had an open slot, maybe like a 12, 13 right now because I've only seen it one time.
All right, and then decided to throw in some horror comedies this time too. The first one being Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Ooh, that might be a top 5er if I had that open slot. I'd probably take the stab at that one because yeah, it's pretty damn good. Yeah, one of the better horror comedies ever made.
And the other one would be Shaun of the Dead.
I'm not as high on Shaun of the Dead as everybody else.
Okay.
It's my least favorite of the Cornettos. It doesn't mean it's bad.
Right.
But I like Hot Fuzz is my number one. My last couple of rewatches of The World's End have put it above Shaun of the Dead. But it's still very good. Like I would have put it in a top 10 spot just to secure that. I'd be fine with that. So
then we got The Descent.
I like The Descent. Very, very good. We watched it not too long ago. Very claustrophobic. That's a top 10er. Top 10, maybe 6. That's a 6 to 10 slot, something like
that. I had Get Out last time, so I added Us this time.
Not big on Us. See, I wish Us had come up because I'd be okay putting that because I like Us less and less the more I see it. So if Us had come up, I would have been okay putting it at one of those slots because I think there's technically some good things about it, but I don't love Us.
Okay.
And Jordan Peele has been very hit or miss for me. So yeah.
And then I was really hoping this one would come up because as soon as I added Midsommar to the wheel, I was like, oh well, I got to add The Wicker Man to the wheel.
The original? Okay.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, I like the original one a lot. I think it's one of the best cult movies ever made. Yeah, that one would have been like a 6 to 10 slot for me, something like that if it had probably come up. So I like The Wicker Man. Really good.
And then there's just a few more. Misery. I had
Misery's good. That one where I would, depending on how many slots I have left, I'd tip that one into a top 5 potentially.
Okay.
Just for
that's what I thought. Yeah.
If it had come up, if I'd had like a 3 to 4 slot, something like that, I might have just gone ahead and slipped one in there. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how many times I watch this movie. Every time she does every single time, like
it's horrifying.
We have The Babadook.
10 to 15. Okay. Really good, but not a personal favorite. The kid annoyed me more the last time I rewatched it. The kid got on my nerves. So that kind of notched it down a little bit for me on rewatch.
And then the final one, this is probably my least favorite that I put on the list, The Blair Witch Project.
See, The Blair Witch Project went up the last time I rewatched it. And
I need to rewatch it.
It used to be kind of low for me, but man, the last time I watched it and I popped it on the big screen and I turned the lights down and I cranked up the sound and it really worked for me. Yeah, I know, Jordan. That's for you. Well, that's for you. Yeah, it works for 18. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The Shining's in my top 25 movies
And,
of all time.
of course,
Yeah,
he
I
was
know.
sad
I
about
know.
your.
Well, yeah, whatever. I'm not as high in The Conjuring. But yeah, as far as what were we saying? Talking about which one?
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. Yeah, I mean, it worked a lot better for the last time I watched it. I think it went up a little bit. I like that not the Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2, but that Adam Wingard one from like 2016. It's called Blair Witch. I like
I
that
haven't
movie
seen
as
that one
well.
yet.
I like that one as well. And yeah, that one would be interesting. But yeah, so shall we read back our list top to bottom to see what we got? And
Yeah.
I can cringe when it gets to Jaws.
Yeah. So you're number one. You have 28 Days Later. At number
Okay.
2, Alien.
Yes.
At number 3, Reanimator. Number 4, The Sixth Sense.
Mhm.
Number 5, An American Werewolf in London. Number 6, It Follows. Number 7, Poltergeist.
Mhm.
Number 8, Midsommar. Number 9, Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Number 10, Carrie. At 11, you have Night of the Living Dead. 12 is Trick or Treat. 13, Videodrome. 14, you have Rosemary's Baby. 15, you have The Conjuring. 16, Nosferatu. 17, The Omen. 18, Jaws. 19, Paranormal Activity. And number 20, Doctor Sleep.
See, I'm fine with pretty much all of that list except for Jaws. Up to the 16, 17, I'm actually pretty happy with that list, actually,
Yeah.
overall. Man, yeah, that's the killer. But again, for anybody who didn't miss last time, Jacob was the same way. He was happy with his list until he got to number 20 and it said Princess Mononoke, and he was not happy.
I was hoping that just a stinker would come
So I think you're gonna cringe at one, but I think you'll be fairly happy with your list overall. So number 1, Spirited Away. Number 2, a Goofy movie. Number 3, Toy Story. Number 4, James and the Giant Peach. Number 5, Aladdin. Number 6, Despicable Me. Number 7, the original Pinocchio. Number 8, Kung Fu Panda. Number 9, the Lego Movie. Number 10, Klaus. Number 11, Paranorman. Number 12, Lilo and Stitch. Number 13, The Great Mouse Detective. Number 14, Beavis and Butthead Do America. Number 15, Rockadoodle. Number 16, Wreck-It Ralph. Number 17, Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's the one he's going to shake his head.
That's the one, yep.
Yeah. Number 18, Cars 2. Getting back on track. Number 19, The Emoji Movie. And number 20, Shark Tale.
Yeah. Like I'd probably rearrange the top 5, but of the ones that were spun, those would be my top 5. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I rearranged my top 5 that I had. I think my top 5 was pretty damn solid because I've watched actually 28 Days Later a little bit more than Alien, but Alien might be the better film overall. But like I've watched 28 Days Later more.
Right, it's one of those. Yeah,
and Reanimator is one of my favorite kind of culty 80s movies, so I like that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I was hoping that the movie that you put at number 7 would have been Reanimator. Like I wanted it to be one that, but I'm happy with Poltergeist too because I wanted it to be something that I hadn't seen.
Oh, okay, so those are 2 of them you hadn't seen. So okay. Yeah, well that'll be interesting. Yeah, I think Poltergeist it's a good one because again, it's got a lot of interesting aspects. There's a lot of interesting behind the scenes stuff. There's sort of a poltergeist curse we can talk about. Like sort of a thing people involved with the movie, like people have kind of died and there's been weird circumstances and the girl, had some weird things with her life. Girl who played Carol Ann, Jo Beth Williams, or not Jo Beth Williams, that's the mom, but I forget her name. But the girl who played Carol Ann. But it's a solid cast. It's a Craig T. Nelson joint, kind of like The Incredibles.
Oh, okay.
He's the dad.
Cool.
Zelda Rubinstein is great as Zelda, or excuse me, not Zelda, but I forget the name of her character, but she's the kind of psychic that comes in, for the house. She's great. I think you'll dig it. It's pretty
okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to rewatching the Lego Movie, right?
A Lego Movie, yeah, and that's one that and again, it's hard to believe. It was 2014. The movie's almost 10 years old. It's
yeah,
hard to believe. But yeah, I have not watched it since the theater, so it's been a minute. So I'm due for a rewatch on the Lego.
Yeah,
movie,
and
so
now Chris Pratt is just voicing everything and everything now.
Yeah. Do we throw in one more wild card movie or two more movies for an episode, or do we just talk about the two?
We could. So
Or do we each spin a movie from our remainders that we still have on our wheel, and maybe as a wild card movie?
we could do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm
Okay.
gonna spin. Yeah,
You
I'll
spin
spin.
because I still got my wheel pulled up, and we do 4 movies maybe in 2 weeks, and we do
Yeah,
those two
let's
because
do that.
it may be stuff you don't need to rewatch. You know what I mean? It may just be stuff we can talk about. But I feel like 2 movies might be pushed, like not be enough for an episode, you know. But if we do like 4, we could talk, 20 minutes about each one, something like that. So maybe something still on the wheel.
All right. So I'm actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, so we will find out.
So we'll find out on screen.
We'll find out together.
Yeah, and I'll do mine. Holding up the screen like I did. So, all right, let's do a little medley of movies here. Yeah, and get a nice little mix, because you may or may not need to rewatch the Lego Movie, right? Like you may be okay.
I don't need to, but I might.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just decide for another movie of each category to discuss and talk about and possibly rewatch. So yeah,
let's shuffle it. I know which one I want it to land on. Let's see if it lands on that one.
Okay. Is there another one you haven't seen on the list that you would want to
watch? The Descent.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There we go. Well, we're gonna rewatch. I'm pretty high on this one actually. I really like this movie.
All right, Behind the Mask, and I'll pop it in and rewatch it because that was the first time I rewatched it was this past Halloween. So, all right, shuffle, spin. So
let's go, Incredibles.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's my nightmare. Oh no! Oh no!
If you would like, I will allow a mulligan.
Oh,
if you would like a mulligan,
please, for my sanity's sake, can we have a mulligan?
Yeah, we can have a mulligan.
I can't watch Frozen. I can't do it. I can't.
I have no problem with that. I'll tell you the truth. I'm a Frozen 2 guy. I think Frozen 2 is better.
I was like, please, God, no. Oh boy, look at this, Jacob.
Hey,
we got it for mulligans. We got it. So we can talk about The Incredibles. Hey, I'm happy to rewatch The Incredibles. The Incredibles are great.
This will be quite the quadruple feature of a movie.
Yeah, this is a wide range of stuff because Poltergeist, kind of a PG movie, but really wonky and crazy 80s stuff. Yeah, the Behind the Mask is like a mockumentary, sort of a thing, a little harder edge to it. And yeah, obviously The Incredibles is, I think one of the greatest superhero movies, ever made, basically. But it has been a minute since I watched it, I'll say that. So, and like I said, it's been a minute since I watched the Lego Movie, which also features superheroes.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of something there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all of these.
All right.
Surprisingly enough, I've seen 3 of them. So one will be a first time watch, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, I'll have not exactly any first time watches, but a couple of rewatches that I need to get to. So there you go. All right, that works. I need to pull my Incredibles Blu-ray, or obviously it's on Disney Plus, but
right.
Yeah.
But why stream it if you own it?
Yeah, why stream it if you just own that? So there you go.
I'll be honest though, if it's late at night and I don't want to get up, and I even if I own it, I will, if it's streaming somewhere, just go to the streaming service instead.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's like it's that back and forth you have in your brain of, man, I could take like 10 steps over to the thing and just grab it with none of that, but man, or I could just click on this button on my TV that's already pulled up and just stream it on there.
I have a Disney Plus button on my remote.
Yeah. So which say we reconvene in about 2 weeks and maybe do that? Yeah.
I'm down. I'm looking forward to it. And then we still will get to our Sean Connery James Bond episode. That's still going to happen. That needs to happen. But that's in 2 weeks we'll do this, and then we'll officially kick off Bond because I've been rewatching some.
I did
Watched them for the
rewatch.
first.
I rewatched Thunderball, and I rewatched a little bit of You Only Live Twice, and I need to go back and watch Goldfinger again.
Dude,
yeah.
I loved Goldfinger so much that the second time I watched it's a 128 contender for me. I
Oh
think it's
wow, yeah,
great.
it's fun. It's a fun time. Yeah, I
So
dug it.
yeah, but that's without having seen any of the other Bonds. So I
Yeah,
don't have the biggest thing, fandom for it. So who
sure.
knows? Like as we go through, maybe no, Skyfall is great.
You know the ones whenever we eventually get to them that I'm kind of kicking to rewatch because it's been a minute is the Pierce Brosnan movies because I like Goldeneye, but that's the one I remember the most. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen the other three. So when we get to that chunk of movies, I want to sit down and rewatch those Brosnan movies, and I think you'll dig the Dalton movies when we get there because they've got a harder edge to it. He's a little more like Daniel Craig, kind of Bond, just more of a no nonsense, I'll kick your ass kind of Bond, not too kind of overly flirty, kind of like he's just, he does his job and he does it well. So when we get there, I think
Daniel Craig might be the ones I'm looking forward to the most, just because I've been liking him more and more as an actor.
Yeah.
Recently, so I'm looking forward to the Bonds. Yeah, I think he's great in the two Knives Out movies. Logan Lucky, I think, is great. So I'm looking forward to those.
He's really good in the that David Fincher, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That movie itself is not one of my favorites, but he's really good in that as well.
I need to watch that one. I own that one. No, I don't. I own The Girl on the Train. I thought it was The
Girl on the Train.
I own The Girl on the Train. It's not the same movie at all. I knew I owned a girl on a girl movie. Yeah, see, Jordan's agreeing with us about the Mulligan. So
yeah, if we had to, I'd do it, but I would frown face the whole movie. Like I think that movie's insufferable, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it wasn't even brought up for either because it was what 20 was it 20? I don't remember what year it came. 2013 maybe, but it didn't even come up for. Yeah, but whatever episode of the 2010s it would have been on, it wasn't even brought up. So
yeah, we didn't even bother with that.
It's not one that I'm like, oh, we're not gonna watch Frozen. I'm upset because working it with children, I still listen to some of the music.
But I can almost guarantee that a movie like The Incredibles will come up on Tuesday on the 2000s. I can pretty much be sure of that.
Somebody's number one.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, I mean,
for me too.
There's a few from the decade that were brought up tonight that could be contenders.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one's gonna be tough. Tier Anchor on Tuesday. We got Lonely Marks coming on Monday. We had to postpone it.
I had my card ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said in the chat, yours might be the one I'm looking forward to the most.
I've got 14 matches. So I have, if we do a 2-night structure like they've been doing, I got 7 for each night. I don't know what night I would put on what. I just have 14 matches.
Okay.
So I would just write up the card. I'll decide. I'll decide that later. That's like I'll decide that backstage. But I do have my 14 matches
here tonight. Go home.
Will they make any sense a year from now? I don't know. Probably not. But I did my best. What can I say? Given the fact that I don't know what's going on storyline wise, I had to look up who some of the champions were, to be honest, to make sure they were still champions from WrestleMania. Who some NXT people are that are hot right now, things like that. So I didn't know.
I'll be honest with you. I think I kept a few of the champions the same.
Yeah, I think I've got 2 champions that are the same that will be defending the titles through the following year, or maybe they drop it, maybe they regain it. Who knows? But the champions by WrestleMania, essentially.
I got a few NXT call-ups that I want to see happen. So I'm looking forward to this. I think I went above and beyond what I usually do for fantasy cards because we're not like fantasy booking from previous cards. We're fantasy booking for a future card. So I've got plans. So, I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, what else? What else do you have going on in the near future?
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll be doing the Jordan's Seen and Heard movie trivia tomorrow night here on the channel. I believe around 9 Eastern. I am the current defending champion, so I will be defending my crown tomorrow night against a whole slew of new panelists. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I've been doing pretty well at it, even when I didn't win the first couple of times against Moose. I came within a hair of winning, so I've been
Nice.
able to keep up. So we'll see what happens with that. Not much else that's out right now. I've taped a couple of things, but they might be out or close to being out the next time we go live. So I'll just
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We'll probably do this again.
Oh, this is
Half,
one
2 months,
thing
yeah.
that every 2 months or so we'll be like, hey, what are we doing for a show? You don't feel like prepping? Cool, let's do a wheel show. Let's just pull whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and the
But
wheel's already
I do like the
still.
idea. I do like the idea that if you want to for next time, either do an all remakes or an all sequels thing.
I might, yeah, I might. Even, yeah,
You could do that for me because I'd be able to nail it. But yeah, if you want to, and you could still rotate in those couple last ones if you wanted to, or save it till later.
And then
to you.
And then just post 2000s.
Only post 2000s for you?
Okay. 2000s.
Okay, fair enough. So no 80s, no 90s, just all post 2000s. I'll have to pull some. I'll have to go a little deeper on some of those. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, fair enough. But that's fine because I can mix in some of the ones I didn't use as well as some other ones. So there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, post 2000s, that'll work.
But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching the live stream, thank you for chiming in. If you're watching on the replay, let us know what you think of our lists, because we're mostly happy with ours, with just one kind of blemish, but overall
it seems to be that's going to be a theme going forward. We're going to be happy with something in the bottom half. Yes,
yeah,
we just will. Yeah.
But yeah, you can catch us again in a couple of weeks when we talk about the 4 movies. So we'll be talking about Poltergeist, Lego Movie, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and The Incredibles. That's going to be a fun time. I'm looking forward to watching and rewatching. So it'll be a good time. So for Austin, I am Jacob. This has been a podcast about movies. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.